Show on the road. Okay, we're good. Okie dokie, Smoky. Hey guys, how are you doing? We had class last night. We're about to have class today. I'm going to keep these videos going. I had such a great response yesterday, and so I'm going to keep this information flowing, and especially for my YouTube channel, I want to make sure I'm feeding them all the content that they need because they love videos and they love the coaching and the teaching. So yesterday we knocked out this board. The board is back here in the office. This is the board that I teach on, and I love to teach. If you have never ever heard me teach or watched a video, my name is Genesis Dorsey, and I am a business coach, and I specialize in helping my clients build their tribes, build their platforms, and ultimately create products and services that can feed this mass movement that you're building. So whatever business it is that you have, every business needs a platform. And those platforms need people. You need people who love what it is that you do. And then you got to be able to feed them products or services. And so I spend a lot of time teaching those who follow me how to build great businesses that have great movements. And so we, of course, need to be taught, because a lot of people will tell you, get the branding, get the website, have all the cute marketing. But then what do you do when you're done the cute stuff? What do you do to actually, build it? So it's important that I coach and that I teach. And whether or not you've ever paid for my premium coaching or for a class or training, I'm still your coach. I am your coach to help you build your business and help you specifically to build that tribe. So anyway, we're here to get into some knowledge, okay? And so if you're ready to make money, if you're ready to, again, expand your business, then let's get into today. Now, yesterday, we had an awesome class. I mean, it was phenomenal. We had people tuning in from Instagram, from Facebook, from YouTube. And we talked about this amazing teaching last night, which was all focused on sales. And it's all based upon, of course, my new workbook, which is called the S Word, right? And so you can get this. It's again, the link is bit.ly. I need sales. And so we're going to be pulling out principles from this book, from this workbook. And this workbook is focused, again, mainly on sales. I mean, that's really what it's focused on, because no matter how great it is that you say you are, no matter how skilled, it doesn't really matter how big you say your expertise is. If you aren't hitting sales, eventually your business is going to die, okay? And your business does run on sales, plain blank. You got to make money. So it's important that we know how to make money. And so today we're going to pick back up from where we started. So I'm just going to adjust the camera here. I just want to make sure everything is good for the camera, for my YouTube, and making sure for my Facebook. Okay, great. So let's go back over what we talked about yesterday, because we're picking back up from yesterday. So I think it's important that we go back to what happened yesterday. So we talked about your baby. Okay, this is what we talked about. This is hilarious, but it's important. We talked about your baby. What we talked about was that every great business, usually for the first 3 years, those are the building years, right? And we're not talking about people who brag about how they've been in business for 20 years, but they barely make any money. We're not talking about those kind of people. Those people have just survived, but they're not thriving. So one of the things that I always teach my clients and customers is, don't pay attention to people who are surviving. Pay attention to people who are thriving, okay? Because your baby, if you've been in business for 20 years, but you haven't hit, you haven't been increasing or scaling your business, your baby has been malnourished. Your baby is a baby where, those kids who are like eight years old and are still trying to get breastfed by their mothers. That's pretty much what it is when you try to tell me that you've been in business for 8 years and you're still not really hitting your goals. Something's wrong. So today what we're going to be talking about is establishing a healthy company, a healthy baby. And then we talked about yesterday how you have to feed your baby, right? What do you have to feed your baby? You got to feed it focus. We talked about within focus that focus actually includes strategy. Focus in a business is not just me doing the same thing over and over again. If it's not working, I've got to change it, and I've got to find a better strategy. We also said that focus includes making sure that I'm working my sales channels, right? So your sales channels are in person, online, over the phone, in networks and relationship building. So we hit on relationship building. If I'm going to feed my baby, it needs relationships in order to further itself. But not just regular relationships. You've got to really start to establish the quality of your relationships. If I'm in business and I know that I got to feed my baby, I'm not going to waste my time around other business owners who aren't doing anything, because they won't push me closer to hitting my sales goals or really increasing my business. So I've got to make sure that I'm feeding it the right sales channels. I'm maximizing my sales channels. I've also got to make sure that I'm maximizing my relationships. And if you're on Instagram, the camera, I can't flip the camera. So you're watching this backwards. Just pay attention. I promise you'll get the same information. And I've also got to feed it exposure. Businesses cannot grow without exposure. People ask me, how do I get exposure? By exposing your business to more audiences. How do I expose to more audiences? Go with where your audience is. If you aren't Googling and researching where your audience is, listen, you're going to be behind. So I'm not going to sit here, I'm not going to break down to you how to research your audience. You should already be looking up those things. You've got to have that. The next thing, passion. We're not looking to be passive in sales, because in order to really go after sales, you cannot be passive. You've got to have passion. So I've got to feed my baby, which is my business. I've got to feed it passion. Passion equals consistency. When you're really passionate about your business, no one should have to push you in order to make money for your business. I should have to push you and say, hey, go out here and go make sales for your business. I shouldn't have to do that. If you really believe in your business, you've got to have focus. You've got to give it passion in order to do what? In order to create wealth. Okay. So this is the timeline that we're looking at. We're going to feed our baby focus, which includes sales channels, relationships, exposure, and strategy. We're going to also feed it what? Passion. And that will equal to what? Wealth. Okay. Now today, what are we talking about today? Let's lay out the agenda for today. Okay, I want to lay out the agenda. Now, I kind of want to keep this up here, but we're going to erase it because we're going to need the space. Because I'm going to lay out what the agenda is for today's class. And I want to do these videos because I want to really have these videos up here, especially on my YouTube channel, so that people can consistently have a place to go to get this knowledge for free, and of course grow from there. Now in today's class, we're talking about specifically how to organize, okay? How to organize, okay, your services and products, okay? And this is important because if you don't organize what you're selling, okay, you'll be struggling. And we're talking about our offerings, basically. So what is it that you're offering your tribe? Now, you might say, well, I already know what I want to sell. Yeah, but if people aren't biting, something's wrong, right? If people are not biting, something's wrong. In tonight's class with my VIP sales trainings, with my trainees, as I like to call them, this is our last week. And what we're going to be focusing on tonight in tonight's class is I'm going to be teaching them on how to package the perfect 2019 offerings. Okay, and how to diversify it so that they can have a successful 2019. I don't want any of my students to ever struggle. So we're going to be focusing on taking this deeper, but I'm going to give you guys the surface lesson just so that you can be ready. Now, let's talk about this. You have a tribe. Okay, you have a tribe of people. Now, what I specifically coach my clients on, and even my tribe in general, is that we're building, the businesses that I coach are people who are looking to have a mass audience, right? So you're looking to feed a lot of people. This is not like, behind the scenes type of deals kind of thing, even though I have worked with people in that capacity, but I'm very focused on helping people build very public, massive tribes. You have a lot of people following you, people buying your products, right? So let me teach you something that you may have already heard. If you have watched any of my teachings already, you probably know what I'm going to say when I say feed the fish. This is a concept that I've taught, and it's my favorite, but this is a very huge concept that I believe every person must memorize and know, okay? If you're going to follow me, if you're going to learn about business, listen, let's get on the horse, let's ride this thing, and we're going to go back over a concept that is essential in organizing products and services. Again, you may have heard this teaching, but if you're not winning with this teaching yet, you have not applied it, so I don't want to hear it, okay? Here's what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about the fish. We're going to create a water line, okay? We're going to create a water line. Okay, this is the water line. Okay, hopefully you can see it. If not, it's kind of faint on the screen, so I'm going to make it black. We're just going to make it black, okay? I'm going to create the water line, okay? This represents water, okay? Now, in this line, I'm going to create a break in the water, okay? And again, if you're just joining us, we're talking about organizing products and services, your offerings, okay, so that they sell better. Okay, they gotta sell better. So one of the things that we're gonna do is we're gonna create a boat in the water. Okay. And this is you. This is you in the boat. Okay, it's you in the boat. Now, below the water are fish. Okay, below the water are fish. Now, I don't got time to draw, so we're just gonna draw fish. I wish I would have done this earlier, but I'm not gonna be drawing fish all day. So we're just gonna draw a couple. Y'all gonna act like these are fish. Y'all listen, use your imagination and they look like sperm, but today gonna be fish. Okay, they're going to be fish today, okay? They're going to be fish. Now, in your business, this is important. No matter how big or small your business is, now remember, different businesses have different functions in how you're trying to build. But if you're trying to win a mass amount of people, let's say, you want to build when you have thousands and thousands and thousands of clients every single year, you're going to have to build a system where you have some kind of layered approach to offering your products and services. So this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about right now tiered products, right? Quickly. This could be tiered products or services. Now, you may already offer tiered products or services in different levels, right? Where there are different price points. But I want to teach you this, not really psychology, but the thinking behind it so that you can become better at offering them. Because what I see online, guys, a lot of times is that I'm connected to a lot of entrepreneurs, but it's a miracle. Let me put it like this. Let me rephrase it. Just because you're already successful selling something does not mean you can't get better. That's what I'm going to say. So there are channels that I'm going to automatically assume, and for many of you, I already know, you're not maximizing all your channels. You could be bringing in a flood more clients if you had a structured approach to offering your products or services in a tiered approach in a more consistent way, whether it's through social media, whether it's through marketing and ads. But we've got to create some more focused tiered products, okay? Now, here's the thing. Everybody starts off as fish. You probably heard me teach this. We're going to go back to it. When I'm offering a tiered product or service, I've got to remember that everybody starts off as a fish, but the fish can come out of the water into my boat, okay? Or I can also take them to shore. Okay, there's 3 different levels. So we're going to start with the water, with the boat, and to the shore. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now, when everyone comes out of, everyone starts off as fish. Fish cannot afford a lot of stuff. Okay. So this is more of our lower tiered pricing. Everybody starts off as fish. Now, people may say, well, guess what? I don't want the lower price. I want the higher package. Well, they would go to shore. But everybody starts off as fish. It's important to know. Everyone starts off as fish. So I must already have a product, okay, that is a lower tier. When you think about your target audience, it doesn't matter how expensive, there still needs to be tiered products and services. Why? Because if I can diversify my products and my offerings, they usually will spend more. Right? If I can, it's almost like a sandwich. If I can begin to develop different offerings, I can check out with some more things. Perfect example is today. Oh my gosh, I was caught with the diversified product bug. And what happened was I was shopping on, let me pull up the site where I was shopping on. They got me good. This probably was one of the best checkout experiences I've had in a very long time with how they upsold me different products. And I was just like, wait, did I just buy that? Okay, so it was a company called Shaper Mint. And Shaper Mint is a shapewear company, and they had a Black Friday sale, right? So Shaper Mint, they're selling these Black Friday sales. And so I bought, they had what was the discount? I think it was, I forgot, y'all. I was just clicking and adding this. Anyway, I think it was like maybe 50% off. I forgot how much it was. That's how good they were. Anyway, I got to the checkout, and as I was paying, I already paid for my order, and this landing page comes up that says, wait, hold on. We want to offer you an additional panty shaper, okay, for 70% off. You're going to get it for $14.99. We've already got your card. You don't have to put in your card again. Listen, I'm going to figure out what kind of plugin they're using. I knew it was a Shopify site, but I got to figure out what plugin they use to do that to me, because I want that for my site. They were like, wait, you don't have to put in your cart again, but we've got another offering for you. It's 70% off. It's this other shapewear panty. So you're not just going to get one, but today you can get two. And this second one's going to be 70% off. Do you know, I clicked that button. I clicked it. Then another page came up and it was like, but wait, we've got one more deal for you. It was like, I got like another girl thing. And I was like, what? And it was already on sale. So I clicked it again. So my order went from $40 and I finally checked out at a total of $77.43. $77.43, right? And so they already knew I was coming for the sale, but they were able to offer me some other products. And what I love about it was that they were layered products. So in other words, they saw that, I was buying shapewear, so they were offering other types of shapewear that I was not purchasing. So this is why everybody starts off as fish. When you're doing product diversification, especially when it comes to like more affordable pricing, you really want to make sure that you have a distinctive tiered layer of services. So again, everybody starts off as fish. So this is what we call the affordable waters. Okay. And this is a concept that, I'm sure a lot of coaches, hopefully they teach it, but I definitely teach it, which is we start off with affordable waters. Affordable is a word that really depends upon what you offer. Affordable at Louis Vuitton may be $500, $600, right? Affordable in your business may be $20, right? I remember when I bought my Louis Vuitton Neverfull, and I bought, this is back in 2010. It was, I think at the time, they were only running like maybe $800, $900. Now I think it's like $1,200, $1,300, something like that. But to Louis Vuitton, that's a very inexpensive bag. It's like basically like the starter bag. It's a tote. It's pretty inexpensive. But that's affordable in that world. But you've got to figure out what your affordable is, and you've got to make sure that when someone comes to your door, there's no way they cannot make a purchase, right? So there's something that they can buy. Now, what that does not mean is that I discount myself so that anybody can come in and, let's say my starting value point is $150 and they're like, I can't afford that. Well, listen, do you have a $20 workbook? Do you have a $30 course that they can take? Something very inexpensive, just like Louis Vuitton has keychains. Listen, you can't get the bag, go get the keychain. Can't get the keychain, get the scarf, okay? But you're going to start out in their ideal affordable. So always have that. Now, once someone moves out of affordable waters, then I can kind of bump it up a tier, right? And we see this in software purchasing, right? So if you've ever purchased software, you'll notice how they have different tiers, right? You may have a light level where for $15 or for $100, $97, you get these features. Then, you can go the next level up, and for maybe $250, you can get this, and that. And then maybe for $1,000 or $500, you can get these features. So this is basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to basically create these tiered services so that people have different ways to work with us, right? Because you don't want to be that person, especially as a small business owner, where there's only one way that people can work with you. Especially getting started. I can see if, you've been in the business for a little bit and you've kind of solidified yourself, but I've seen people jump straight into business. They're like, the only way you can work with me is this way. And I'm just like, honey, you haven't even hit certain numbers yet, okay? Let's build it up first. Now, I'm not saying you have to be cheap, but let's have diversified ways. Because remember, we're building a tribe. And from what I coach, remember, I'm coaching people to build these massive ideas of tribes. So your business may not be that. You may be a business that works with more of private contracting, with government contracting. So you aren't looking to build a tribe. So this probably is not the video for you. But if you're someone who's looking to build a diversified tribe or a public tribe following, then we definitely want to have affordable waters. Then we move to the boat. Okay, the boat is the second tier. Okay, they move from out of the waters into the boat. This is the second tier. So we're going to create a more medium level price offering. Okay, once they get into the boat, then we can bring them to shore, which is usually your high ticket items. Okay, and you want to have high ticket items. You definitely want to have high ticket items. So let's talk about ways in which we can do high ticket items, or just honestly, these three different tier price points. Bundles. Let's talk about bundles. Not the hair, y'all. Not the hair. Not the hair. We're not talking about hair, okay? We're talking about bundling items or creating this like layered sandwich of offers, right? So a perfect example, especially for my service space, is that let's say for a price of $297, okay, you get blah, 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 and you kind of want to have your bullets, right? So for $297, maybe for this service, I worked with a guy who was in grass cutting business, and he offered like one flat rate. And I was just like, okay, this is a good starting point. But what I told him, I said, well, what if you match, what if you have a client who can pay more, who wants to get maybe a different type of service? And of course, he still does custom pricing, but I said, let's create kind of like, you know, a tiered range so that if you get someone who is a commercial client, you have commercial offerings for that client, right? Just like, for instance, for those who are in product development, right, you should have what? Wholesale pricing, so that those who may want to order in large bundles, you already have a price point for that. So don't come into business ever saying, well, you know what, I'm not really sure my pricing. I'm just going to kind of like go with the flow. We don't go with the flow, okay? We set some kind of table of standard so that you don't actually charge below your worth, okay? Even if you're someone who trusts your voice, do not trust yourself that much to remind yourself of what you're worth. Sometimes we can easily slip out of what we're worth and say, you know what, yeah, that's fine. You can pay me that. No. Now, with that price point, right, I may have some features that are included. And then let's say for my short price point, you know, for $5.97, I love 97s and love 99s. But for $5.97, you can get blah, 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 right? Now, something that's important to know with bundles is that you're bundling, right? Bundling is where you're taking different products or services and putting them under one price point, and people get those things for that price point, right? Let's talk about another way. So bundles is a great way to do that. Another way is to create tier pricing based upon the customer themselves. So like I said before, if we're looking for someone who does not have a lot in their budget, we start them here. And I'm going to create an offer that's in the affordable waters, right? And then if you're in the boat, which is the second tier, I'm going to create an offering for the second tier. And then if you have more of a greater income, then I can create that. I can create a higher tier. But here's nothing that you can do. You can create experiences. And a perfect example, I think I just saw Bianca, who's on here, she's the owner of Caden Consulting. And so she's a business consultant, business coach. And what she does is, I know now she's doing a mastermind in Chicago. It's like a 4-day mastermind. Women are going to spend time in this beautiful home, and they're doing this business mastermind. So that is an experience. Right? It is another way of offering a product or service, but in a different way, right? An experience. It's not a call. It's not a virtual experience. You know, it's not a virtual, everyone's getting on Zoom. It's in person. So you can have different ways to feed different people, right? But here's the thing about when you're diversifying your products, you still got to be focused, right? One of our words, let's write up our words that we want to remember. Baby, focus, passion, and wealth, right? And remember, we're feeding our baby, which is our business. We're giving it focus and passion to create wealth, right? So within this, you can also create experiences. This is a great example for those of you who may be coaches, consultants, or you want to just create some special type of events. But remember, even if you're doing events, you don't want to do events. You want to make them into what? Experiences, right? And you want to make sure that it is strategic with your business. I see a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to host an event around my product. Okay, I want to, just kind of bring people together. Well, the question is, have you been feeding the fish? Because in order to create experiences or to offer this type of product or service, you've got to make sure you have people. And one of the reasons why a lot of people do not have great events is because they have no tribe. They have not gathered their fish. Okay, when you do not gather your fish, you won't be able to give experiences because you don't have any people. Does that make sense? So a lot of times we really want to have these like packed out events, packed out people. Do you have a tribe? Remember, your tribe starts out as fish. Are you gathering? So let's talk about the next thing, which is gathering the people. Let's talk about gathering the people. In your business, you should be gathering. You've got to have the gift to gather. Because if I'm going to be selling products or services, I need to be gathering people. Okay? Gather the people. Okay? This is how I'm growing my tribe. I got to learn how to have the gift to gather. Okay? The gift to gather. As an entrepreneur, one of your greatest ways to grow your business is to be the plug. Okay? But a lot of people are the plug, right? They're the connector. You're always connecting people, connecting relationships, but you aren't gathering those that you're connecting into a focused place, right? So when you're trying to really grow your business, you're trying to have more sales, right? You've got to have a stronger tribe presence, which means that you've got to consistently not just be the plug, but you've got to plug people in to your platform. And, just like we talked about yesterday, the reason why a lot of people are broke in their business is not because they're not great at what they do. It's because they're not focused at what they do. And so they're not a consistent voice. In order to become the plug, not just of connecting people to people, but connecting people to what you're trying to do, is you've got to have a consistent voice. And it has to be a voice that is goal-oriented. This is really big. I've met people who made millions, great people, made millions, but they've hit walls because they made their money and getting to people, but because they were not goal-oriented for people, they were only goal-oriented for themselves, right? It only takes you so far. You got to watch your pride. You got to watch who you are as a person, because people will run after something that speaks to what they want, right? I have a client who's in the credit industry, and one of the things that I never forget when I first got started with her. This is way back in like 2014 or 15. She was one of my very first clients for my graphic business, for my graphic design. And one of the things that we talked about was that you can't just post the pictures of getting the car, getting the house, while those are great, those are definitely great, those are great sellers. But what I told her, I said, was, if you want to build a tribe of people where you're just selling out on calls and on repair calls and all this kind of stuff, you've got to create this kind of movement, right? And a lot of times we're not really creating movement so people don't move. Okay, you've got to create a movement. A lot of people are plugs, but they're not creating movements, which means that you're not plugging them into anything, okay? It's easy to make a product. I'm telling you, believe me. And it may take a lot of money, it may take a lot of work. But do you know what's harder is getting people. I can make a journal, a planner, a book, service, build $1 million company. But if I want to scale that thing, I've got to eventually grow into a movement. I got to make this thing a movement, okay? Chick-fil-A is a movement. It's not just a company. Believe me. Apple is not just a company, it's a movement. Why? Because the people move when they say so. Listen, new phone drops out. It's become almost a cult of a sense where people become fanatics about products and services. I will ride for Google Drive all day. I love it, okay? Google has become a movement. People live and breathe through Google, search through Google, make money through Google. Listen, it's become a movement. Companies grow when they become movements because what? They give movement. Because why? They're going somewhere. They're showing you that by using our products and services, you can get here, but they're giving a consistent voice in a organized package or offering, right? Chick-fil-A is not just saying, listen, if you want to enjoy quality customer service and eat the most yummy, delicious milkshakes, drink the most delicious milkshakes, and eat the most delicious chicken sandwiches, follow us. No, they're creating a movement that is of great customer service. It is of yummy food. But you remember, there's people who sell yummy food all the time. What makes Chick-fil-A work so well is the way they bring things together, right? They have a simple menu, right? They have a menu that has created this kind of cult following where everybody is getting used to the cows. They have a very consistent branding message, right? It's this thing of you've got to create a consistent voice and you've got to show people where they're going. You may say, well, where's Chick-fil-A going? Remember that what I'm talking about can be done in different ways, right? For instance, Nike creates a movement. right? Target creates a movement. And what they do is they show their customers different ways of having what they desire, right? So you've got to figure out, how can I package up the desires of my customers and match them with the movement that I want to show people? So here's what has to happen. In order to create a movement, you've got to move, okay? I've got to move. I've got to create movement within my own company. Okay, if you have employees, this is actually where you're going to start first. You don't even start with your customers. You first start with your employees. Okay, and you don't hype them up about making the money. You hype them up about creating a movement. Because if you can hype your employees about creating movements, they will move according to your voice, and they will create something that I promise you will be bigger than even what you desire. Okay, so we got to first start out at creating a movement, and I've got to move first. The CEO, the top head, has to be the first person moving. And if you are a solopreneur where it's just you, then you've got to get moving. And what you've got to get moving is painting the picture. This is all connected to sales. If you don't do this, you will not create. You won't have any money, because you have to set the pace in your business. And this is why you got to have some energy. This is why being a business owner takes a lot of work, because, you know, especially as a solopreneur, because you're not just the front end of the business. A lot of times you're also the back end, right? I mean, you're trying to run the front and you're trying to run the back at the same time. It is exhausting, but it comes with the job. It is what it is, okay? So you've got to paint the picture. You've got to set forth a place, right? This is the reason why, as a boat, right, one of the things I teach about in leadership is that it is a ship, right? It's literally called leadership. It is a ship where you as a leader are guiding people to a place. As an entrepreneur, as someone who is launching a movement, a tribe around a particular product, because here's the thing, remember, products can change, okay, but the destination is the same. Okay, you know, you may again, like McDonald's. They at first, when they got started, they were offering all sorts of items. We talked about that last night. Then they began to shorten out their items to about 3 things that they saw that their customers really wanted. But the mission stayed the same. Okay, helping families, loving on families, creating this family environment, right, where you can get fast food on the go, right? Good, yummy fast food. I'm not sure. It's processed, but you know, hey, it is what it is. So the point is that you've got to lead people somewhere. I promise you, you will always have sales if you can lead people somewhere. And if you can become that consistent voice that's very goal-oriented, showing people the life that they can have and giving them a deeper reason for the life that they can have, right? Okay, let's hit hide. Just saw something on YouTube. So I want to be able to show them, to paint them the continuous picture of what using my product looks like, of what using our services look like, on the testimonials. These are the things that you've got to start getting, right? So how do we paint the picture to have consistent sales? Number one, I've got to create continuous testimonies, okay? I've got to show people, you know, what people have experienced by working with me. I've also got to create consistent movement in my own activity of a consistent voice. So that means a lot of proof of expertise, okay? I've got to continuously prove that I'm good at what I do. Okay, and that may be by showing how great your product is, on how your product unites people, maybe how it unites families, maybe on how it changes someone's thought about themselves. You know, but you've got to begin painting pictures. Okay, yes, you can use a podcast as a perfect example. We're actually going to get to voice. Y'all ready? Matter of fact, Jessica on YouTube, let's go there right now. You also have to create voice. This is big. Voice is actually a part of it. It can include proof of experience, but voice is big. Voice is big. You know, a lot of people who are in the startup worlds, especially startup founders, they spend a lot of time going out into investors and into a lot of venture capitalist arenas to pitch their business, right? But they've got to bring voice to the vision, right? And you know, even if you're not a startup, you've got to do the same thing in your business. You've got to bring a voice to your product and your services. Right now, I am giving voice to my expertise. I'm giving voice to the things that I do to establish how I can help people. Now, you've got to learn on how to control what you give away for free, though, right? So this is why, social media, I'm going to be doing pictures and maybe doing some quick quotes and quick tips. I'm not giving everything, but I do have to begin to show and solidify who I am as a brand and who I am as a company, or who we are as a company. Does that make sense? Okay. The other thing, though, too, is within voice. So we can do podcasts, right? We can do video. Okay. We can do teachings. We can do demonstrations, right? For instance, if I'm watching QVC HSN, what are they doing, guys? The whole day, you're usually going to be watching salespeople demonstrate a product, show you, they'll be like, this is the beautiful bag that you can purchase, right? Listen, if you've ever watched HSN or QVC, they'll be like, yes, we have nice hands. Then we have, of course, oh, do you see the beautiful red is just coming out just like that. And, you see all the nice silk texture. Oh, Melanie, I think I'm going to order one. Matter of fact, I just ordered one, but I think I'll order one again. And you see the beautiful brown coming out in the bag. So on HSN and QVC, what they're doing is that they're demonstrating their product in a public setting, but giving voice, right? Describing the product, talking about how great it is, talking about, what people are saying about the product. Same thing about a service, right? You've got to give voice to your product or your service. Another thing, though, is that you've got to give visuals to your product or service. That can be done through a video, but another way may be through some marketing tactics such as business cards, marketing materials, right? Where I'm actually going to be showing people, okay, different examples of my product, right? So that could be as easy as when Chick-fil-A slides in those little cards and they say like free family night or something like that. It's a way of giving a visual to a way that people can connect with the company or service, right? So that's just like direct mail. Direct mail is a great way of marketing, because a lot of people have just focused on email marketing strictly. Direct mail works great for certain types of businesses where you have a physical brick and mortar, or you have a physical way, let's say in that arena or that area, for people to connect with your service. It's awesome. I'm telling you, it's a great way. So that's another way that you connect. So I can use marketing materials. Okay, that also goes under video. Right. I can also do like billboards, right? These are all different ways to bring in and organize sales. But here's the thing. When you are giving out a direct mailer or doing a billboard, you've got to focus on a particular offering. You can't just say, hey, buy all of our stuff. Depends on like if you're Target or different places, who have a lot of products. But if I were you, I would focus on finding a great kind of package that you can create for people who are starting out with your program or your service or your product, right? So for instance, on a lot of shopping websites, they'll have their best sellers. These are the products that we believe that, really kind of bring you in. Chick-fil-A has the signature sandwich, right? They got the classic sandwich, right? So, you can have things that will really bring you in. Last night, we talked about having a signature product or service, right? Now, when it comes to a signature product or service, it has to be something people are willing to pay for. Some of you've already got that, but some of you don't. Okay, you've got to have something that people are willing to pay for. And a lot of times it will start with particular skill sets. Some people are not going to pay you for what you think you should be paid for. Okay, so you've got to figure out what is it that I actually can put out there. And sometimes within finding your skill set, you really want to feel an immediate need. Okay, you need to feel an immediate need. Okay, got to feel an immediate need, something that people can immediately jump into and use. Okay, or purchase from you that you will perform for them. Okay, but make sure you're giving people what they need, not just something that you think people need, but it needs to be a proven concept in the market. So let's go back over this. The way that we organize products and services and offerings, we've got to, of course, as we earlier talked about, we've got to give them some focused tiered settings. You can give tiered settings, you can give bundles, right? You can give focused products that are kind of like the beginner sets of things. If I sell makeup, I'm not just going to say, hey, shop my makeup store. I'm going to create some kind of bundle package that says, hey, if this is your first time time joining or experiencing our company, these are, let's say, like this is like our signature set. It includes, maybe several products from our store that will give you a taste of our company. Let's say you sell a planner or journal. If you only sell one planner or journal, well, that is your focus. But I could bundle it together and say, hey, you get the planner, plus you can get, some stickers, you could get a matching journal set, okay, and all of that for this a great easy price of whatever it may be. And so I can take somebody from only spending $50 or $30 to now they're spending $75, and they feel like they're getting ultimate value because they're getting these layered things on top of each other. Does that make sense? So we want to make sure that we are actually maximizing, as we talked about last night, maximizing in order to monetize, okay? So this is why for a lot of people, you can't just think about, having just one product. You should start with one product, sell that product like crazy, and then expand as your offerings are needed. Not just because you want to expand them, but as they're needed, okay? And you look at the needs based upon your customer base to understand, okay, is it time for this? Like, is it time for us to expand this way? Someone may ask you, well, how do I know it's time to expand our offerings? By listening to the voices of your consumers, sending them things like reviews, okay? A lot of business owners love to get testimonials, but they hate having people review them. At the end of this year, I'm going to be sending out a review to my entire tribe to ask them what are some things that they would like to see improve, what are some things that they would like to see in the next year, what are some services that maybe they would like to experience. I want to ask my tribe. So again, I've met people who are millionaires, and they've made their millions, but they won't really expand because they've never asked their tribe what they want next. They just say, oh, well, I already know. No, you should ask your tribe what they want. But let's go back to something because I think that it's important, which is, okay, Gigi, I'm here. You talk about all this stuff. Got to create a movement. Got to do the. How do I get the people? We're going to go back to what I said yesterday. Show up. What did we say yesterday? I got to show up in the places where my customers are. We talked about events. Okay, let's talk about this. Talk about these things. Okay, because a lot of times people ask questions like, well, you know what? I want to build my business for free. So how do I show up for free? Unfortunately, guys, if you want people to give you millions, you're going to have to invest into you first. Okay, people, I don't get it. People want people to give them money, but they don't want to invest money for their business. You listen, this is a joke. Okay, Dad, you must be a comedian. Okay, you must be a comedian because in order to make money, you will have to spend some money. That's why I tell a lot of entrepreneurs, save up your coins before you decide to go out here and build a business because you're going to need money to build it. So how can I show up? Okay, because now that I have a particular, let's say let's go back over it. I have tiered products. Okay, of course, I'm going to have my core product or service. Okay. Let's say I'm also going to have some bundles where they can bundle things together, just how Geico or insurance companies, they bundle things together, okay? Now that I know what I'm offering, okay, I'm going to have a core product or service. I'm going to offer maybe a special bundle, and then let's say I'm going to offer maybe, in my core product, I may have tiered ways of experiencing it. Just like, for instance, if I go to fast food place, I can get just a sandwich, or I can get the sandwich with fries and a drink. Perfect example of tiered. And also diversifying and making sure that you can get more money out of a transaction, right? So, matter of fact, that's a good example. So, how do I show up? Yesterday, we talked about events. Okay, we talked about also this is one thing I want to talk about: private meetings. Okay, with your next level, with people who are at a different level, so that you can expand. You also want to make sure that you are showing up for mentors. You need mentors. You need people who can mentor you into your next level. So you need people who can help you get there. How do you find mentors? By being in the environments of your next level. You can never find mentors where you're at. You're always going to be the next level up because why? They need to teach you how to get to that next level. Okay, so you'll never find mentors in places where people are at the same level as you. A mentor is not someone who's at the same level. A mentor is higher than you so that you can get where they are and hopefully grow from there as well. The other thing you need to show up in, okay, is not just events, not just in private meetings, not just mentors, but also you want to show up at exhibitions and conferences. Now, to me, these are not the same things as events. Okay, because to me, an event may be like a one-day thing, where it may be like a networking event, it may be a social event where I'm meeting people, okay? But an exhibition or conference is where I may be meeting people in an industry, okay? And these, you want to look for industry, we talked about this yesterday, but industry-based exhibitions or conferences where you're meeting your potential customers, okay? You want to go where they're at. So that's very important. The other thing, though, is that you just don't want to go to your industry. You could think about, this is a great thing to think about. Let's say I sell planners for mothers, okay? Guess what kind of conferences I need to invest in to be at? Motherhood type conferences, conferences for parents. Okay, that makes perfect sense. And you may say, well, let's say, my business is for a lot of different types of customers. Well, focus on a particular customer. Great advice I've always learned is, let's say I want to appeal to people in the hair industry. Okay, well, I want to focus on going to a hair industry type of conference or exhibition, and then I'm going to really focus on that particular area. And on that area, I'm going to, let's say we're going to do a pop-up shop, we're going to do all these things. But that is important in order to get more people. It's funny, when it comes to building a tribe, I'm not just going to use social media. Hey, Miss Ya, I'm not just going to use social media. I'm going to use in-person building as well. You've got to show your face. This is really big. For 2019, one of the things that I'm doing with my team is we're going to be working on me popping up into different cities and building tribes. Because my tribe, I am big on growing my tribe because I teach you guys how to grow it. And so I'm not just going to be using social media. I'm going to be coming into different cities to amass a whole bunch of people. Okay, because that's what I'm going to have to do in order to do what? To grow a bigger tribe. Okay, if you want to get more people, you got to grow more people. You've got to put more money into building people. But what I've learned is that I've got to first build up my steps, though. Okay, you got to first build up steps, because you can't go and travel to different cities and you have no pull. You got to have some pull, got to have some weight. That's why we first establish ourselves as experts. So the last question I'm going to talk to you about is showing expertise. We talked about this in voice, right? I'm going to be teaching this tonight and also in my Scale Your Instagram class. This is really big, okay? You've got to show expertise. Okay. A lot of people do this. They say, I'm an expert. Okay. I'm an expert. I know what it is that I do. Let's say I have a client who sells planners, right? And her planners are dedicated to health and wellness, right? Well, if you're not sharing or showing yourself as a health and wellness expert, you're not going to build a movement around health and wellness. Okay. Because see, that's the thing. My services and products, okay, are not the center. The movement is. Okay. Everything that you build in your business is centered around movement, right? Which we talked about. Okay. And your products and services are like planets that surround themselves around the movement. Why? Because services can change. I may not want this, and we may not be doing this anymore. We may remove this out in a couple years, but everything is basing its energy off of the movement. So I've got to build a movement around my what? Around my expertise. See, if you don't make yourself into the center for people's lives, they will not see you as a center place to buy, to purchase, or to join. They've got to see you as a center of something in their lives. And a lot of times we're kind of like tiptoeing around that. I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'm going to just do a little bit of this. No, you've got to show up as the expert. Now, you may not say to yourself, well, there are many other coaches around me, consultants, planners, journals, services that do the same thing I do. Okay, great. But guess what? You've got to have confidence that you're the best. Now, that's where a lot of people fail, because you're not building a movement as if you are the best movement for what it is that you talk about. So if I am a coach that's helping people build tribes, I believe that I'm the best tribe builder coach. You may have your opinion if I am not the best, but I believe that I am the best, and it's my confidence in my movement that attracts people. But you've got to be specific in what it is that you're trying to take people. This is why when I'm showing my expertise, I got to give a focus for my expertise. Okay, I've got to give a focus for my expertise. If I don't give a focus in my fire and my passion, what's going to happen is that you're going to have a lot of tribe members, but they're not going to really be people who are going to spend money with you because they kind of came because you weren't focused. So they kind of, oh yeah, I like a little bit of what she does. Oh, I like a little bit of what she does. But then when it comes time to sell them a product or service, they're not even your target audience. You thought they were, but they're really not. Why? Because you've got to pick a focus. You can't just say I'm a motivational coach. You can't just say that I am a healing coach or someone who focuses. No, what is it that you focus on healing? Okay, and within that, where have you shown your expertise? This is why we've got to be, this is why I'm building all this stuff together. We've got to make sure that we're mapping out a very easy to understand and follow organization or nucleus within our companies, okay? Because I can't just say that I'm the expert this, no, we're the expert at that. Okay, show me your spread out for me a table to eat from, to feast from within your business. Show it to me. Show me the proof to your pudding, okay? And when I say the proof to your pudding, let me show you myself as an example. Because I think I'm, if I'm teaching, right, I gotta be an example. And I'm going to share a little bit about my 2019 plan. I think that's important. So let's do a quick rerun of what we talked about with bundle services. Okay, we talked about in order to organize services and products, we got to have what? A core product. That is the root of our business. The root of our business. Unless you are a business that offers tons of different diversified products like a Target, Macy's, Amazon, whatever it may be, okay, you need to have a core product or service. Core product or service. Okay, you got to have a core product or service. You can, of course, have bundled services or items. Okay, and after that, you can have tiered services. Okay, so like we said before, what are the 3 ways that we can monetize off of skill sets is that we're going to have a core product or service. If you don't have a core product or service, I don't want to hear it. I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care, okay? Have a core product or service, okay? The next thing is you can also offer bundled services, okay? Bundled services, layered services, or products. And then like I said before, you can offer tiered. But you're not going to offer all these at once if you haven't even sold, if you haven't become consistent at your core products. You've got to have a core product or service. Okay. Now, from that, I'm going to show you a little bit of my 2019 plan. Okay. And I'm going to include products and services. Products and services, okay? So you can understand how to really offer and how to close these deals, how to make more money. Because I'm tired of y'all, listen, no more being broke, okay? No more struggling. We don't do that over here. So the first thing I have to think about is, what is the vision that I want to paint? We are here to build movements. I personally coach people on how to build, again, public movements. Again, if you do behind the scenes deals all day, I'm probably not the coach for you. I'm about amassing a lot of people to follow you, and then we monetize off of that big tribe. So the first thing is, what is my movement? Okay, I call myself the platform coach. Okay, that's my name, the platform coach. And of course, coming in 2019, I had to really even more hone in on what was going to even be my focus. Okay, because I'm just like y'all. Listen, I run a business just like you. I'm not a coach who is, a coach, and my business is coaching y'all. No, I actually run businesses. So, I have to focus just like you guys do. So my movement is built on 3 P's. Okay, this is the focus. Okay, we focus on platform, people, and product, which of course is translated into service, but just to keep all the 3 P's together. Okay, so platform, people, product, and service. So coming into 2019, I decided to focus on a core coaching program. Now, if you have services, you're going to focus on what? A core service-based program, or if you have products, it could be a core product or a product line. Okay, I'm not going to limit you to just one product. It could be a product line. Maybe you're well known for a particular collection of earrings that you really push out there to the world. So for me, the core coaching is P for university coaching. Okay. And it's our main coaching program. Yes, I have other ones, but I'm going to focus on a main service. And I'm going to be pumping this in 2019 as the core service. I mean, that's going to be the thing I'm pushing. I decided to take away a lot of other coaching experiences. I still offer some, but they're not going to be the focus. This is going to be the focus, okay? P3 University Coaching. But I'm also going to introduce, okay, some bundled or some tiered products or services by launching P3 University classes. Okay? And the reason is because someone may not be able to afford several thousand a month, okay? But I'm going to feed them through P3 University classes. These are self-paced classes. Okay. And again, one of the things that I'm focusing on is how do I make money, but not offering a whole bunch of my energy. Okay. I'm way over that. I have too much to do. So these will be self-paced classes or courses. Okay. That will be taught by myself plus other experts who can provide these services. Okay. So what I'm doing is that I'm offering, again, tiered pricing in my business structure so that I can feed the fish. Remember, we're going to feed. Let's look back over the example. Okay, these are the fish down here. Okay, down here are the fish. I'm going to feed the fish. Okay, the fish, everyone is like, this is a affordable pricing, so that I'm not missing my clients or my customers who they can't afford. Again, they can't afford $1,500 a month in coaching. Okay, but they can say, you know what, I can afford a $49 course. I can afford a $97 course. I can afford a $297 course. So now I'm making a whole bunch of different money. This is the reason why for me, when I wake up in the morning, I'm always making money. I love checking my emails. I'm like, check this person purchased this, first person purchased that, this person. I'm just like, yeah, baby. But the reason why is because it's being offered in a tiered way. This is so important. So when I'm building this out, I'm building different ways that people can experience my expertise, okay, can experience what it is that I do. And that way I'm making money in different streams. Okay, this is important. So for those of you who are coaches or consultants, listen, if you're trying to build a huge tribe based upon your expertise and you have not diversified your products or services, you're missing out on good money. You're missing out on real good money. Then the last thing I'm offering under here are experiences. So I'm doing these masterminds. And I'm splitting it into 2 services. So you can either come into the rooms, right? They're called the power table. And oh my gosh. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, guys. So I got a text. It's not, somebody's going through some stuff. So I got to address that. But anyway, I'm offering into two tiered services, okay? So my 2 tiered services are, they can come to the table, into the room, it's $197, right? And this is for really more of higher level women who are looking to do some major collaboration in their businesses and really plan for their quarters, right? And of course, for me, this is how I've always believed, free attracts certain types of people that I do not want at the table, because not everybody values investing. I don't know about you, but I've been to some events and people, got in for free, or, there was no charge, and it brought in people who aren't really that hungry. A lot of times when you put price point with something, it can really flesh out people who don't need to be in the room. This is actually what happens to a lot of our societies. They raise the price, it clears out people who can't afford it, sadly. And actually, I think that's a wicked way, but it's just what happens because money can clear out certain people. And so for me, I'm offering 2 price points. You can either do $197 to enter the experiences, or you can pay $97 per month to join the virtual experiences. So this is a way of me diversifying and offering all different types of streams, okay, to serve the whole movement, right? So I'm dishing out different meals. This is big. Now, you may say, well, Gigi, I don't really have all of those things to offer. I just have products. Well, we're almost done. You do the same thing with products. And let's do this. Clear this out. Okay. Let's say I have a product. Okay, we're going to start with one product. Let's say I have a product. Let's say it's a book. Or let's say I sell jewelry. We're going to use 2. This is a journal. Or this is some jewelry. That is not what I'm drawing. Okay. Say this is jewelry. Okay. So let's use these 2 examples into growing our businesses, okay, and to growing our businesses. So when it comes to building a movement, okay, let's go over this, okay. Whether you sell a journal, a planner, a book, or you sell jewelry, you still got to create a movement. This is where we miss it with things. We think that because it's just an item that somehow we can't build a movement out of it, right? And so you've got to learn how to still build a movement, okay? Whether it's a journal or a jewelry piece, you build movements by looking at what's bringing people together for these products, okay? Y'all, I don't know who is calling me back to back, but what is bringing me focus, okay, around products, okay? And so this is why, like I said before, you've got to create campaigns and consistent focus around things like the values of your company, your target audience, and the things that they love and things that they enjoy, okay, the mission of your company, and you build a movement around those things, okay? So like McDonald's, they built their movement around family, okay? When you look at certain companies, they build their movements around traditions or a certain culture, okay, a way of living, okay? So Jessica asked, this is a perfect example, she asked, what if your core product is interviews and written features? So the thing about it is that interviews technically cannot be sold. Like, I don't think that's a great product or service to sell, is an interview. Because the only way someone would pay for an interview is if it's worth it, which means that unless you're bringing me a certain amount of clout, I'm not going to pay for an interview, okay? And as far as written features, the only way you can sell, anything being written is if you are bringing someone clout. Like, you have to be, I would pay for that if you had a platform that had tons of people, and if I paid you, this feature would bring me exposure. So the only way you can trade writing, okay, in that kind of sense of like, interviews and written features, is if in exchange I'm getting back exposure. If I'm not getting back exposure, I'm not going to pay, okay? Because, unless you can prove to me the number of hits your site gets or whatever your magazine, whatever it is that you have, I'm not going to pay for that. Now, if you have writing skills, then a better way to monetize writing skills may be copywriting, ghostwriting, being someone who writes articles for others. And, maybe what I'll do is, let's say I had a service where it was writing. What I would do is I would offer writing services just like we do. So let's say there's somebody who says, I'm a business owner, I have a blog. And I need to make sure that my blog and my emails that go into my tribe are being written, but I don't feel like writing them. So what I would do is I would be selling, okay, a service where, okay, for the price of $199 a month, okay, I'll write 4 blog posts and maybe 2 articles or maybe 2 emails, right? Or for the price of $250, $249, I'll write this many blog articles and this many whatever it may be. And what you would need to do is you would need to find an audience that you are targeting to write for. So if you, let's say, and it's going to be based upon whatever your expertise is, because you can't write about something you don't have expertise in. But let's say you're like, okay, I want to focus on, I don't know, let's say it is beauty. So you help people who are in the beauty industry, send out their emails, send out their blog posts, and maybe you help people who are consultants or coaches. But you've got to find a focus, okay? You've got to create a movement around what is that you do, right? So maybe your movement will be based around, let's say, helping business owners communicate their words at a faster pace. You got to really make that sound really good in the market. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But you've got to create a movement maybe around helping business owners live an easier life through writing. So, you're here to actually help their lives be easier by providing them written copy that they don't have to write. So you kind of create this movement around entrepreneurs. That's what you would focus on. So this movement is around entrepreneurs, or it may be for mommy entrepreneurs, right? Or maybe for millennial entrepreneurs. I'm just making up some things. It may be for writers. I don't know, but you've got to create a focused audience, and that's what you build your tribe from. Let's get back to this, because hopefully that answers your question about what you can monetize. Let's say I'm selling jewelry or a book. These are the 2 examples we're going to use, right? And I want to create a movement. You got to create the movement from whatever the target audience base that you want to feed. Okay, that's how we're going to do this thing. So I'm going to, let's say, let's do makeup, because I really love makeup too. Okay, so let's say this is a makeup bottle. I don't know. Or let's say you do makeup, your MUA, which technically is a service. But anyway, I'm going to figure out what the movement is. I'm going to build my products around. Okay, remember, your products are not the focus of your business. They circle your business. They're not the center, they're the circle around. Products can change, the movement stays the same. Okay, so from this, I'm going to offer bundles. This is so big. You got to learn. If you sell products, you've got to learn how to create some bundles. You really do. You got to learn how to create some layers. So if I sell a journal or a book, okay, I need to think about diversifying the book into maybe things like a course, okay, where people can buy two, get one discounted. Or maybe I think about accessory products, okay, that can go with the book. Things like stickers, complimentary notebooks, study guides for a book, things like that. If it's a planner, maybe I think, like I said before, you got a planner, then you may have like some kind of accessory creation or something like that goes with the planner. It may be, maybe you do an undated version of the planner, but you got to think about ways that you can bundle things together to make them make sense. Does that make sense? Or maybe you create notebooks with the planner collections. That makes sense, okay? The next thing is, let's say I sell jewelry, okay? Jewelry. I can't just sell, selling them by pieces is nice, but then we want to think about things like selling in collections, right? Okay? Pushing collection sales. So I'm not just going to focus on one particular product and you just buy all these different types of products. I want to also think about campaigning my collections, okay, on what the things are that I'm selling as a collection. I may also think about campaigning not just collections, but maybe like an assortment of items that I bring together for my own and I give my customer. A customer, sometimes they know what it is that they want. But a lot of times the customer does not know what they want. And when you paint the picture for them, just like, for instance, when you walk into a fashion or a clothing store and they have mannequins that are already dressed with examples of an outfit. Why are they doing that? They want to show you what it would look like if you pair things together. Why do fashion companies create lookbooks? Because they want you to see how you can pair these things together, okay, to make them paint the picture and create kind of an end result of their items. Same thing for this. Create a painted picture. Okay, hey, if you style it with this and you put it with that, bang. Now you can get all of this for $49, right? Well, that makes it easy because I know all I got to give her is $49. You give him $49. And from that alone result, I'm going to get, this particular product. So don't wait for the customer. Give the customer what it is that they need. This is why we're talking about bundles. I'm talking about bundle items to your price points. I'm glad, Amma. So that's confirmation, okay? So we're going to give it to them that way. Let's say we're talking about makeup or makeup services. I still don't understand why MUAs don't do this, but hey, maybe I just don't know the industry well. But I've also, yes, Monica, you could. Yes, you could. And so Monica asked, can I package my planner with a service? You sure can. Matter of fact, a great way to do this is by offering a great base price where with a certain service, they get your planner. And so the planner, of course, will help them to execute what they were coached on. Right? So that's a great way to add it in. But make sure that you paint the picture of why they would need to buy that bundle. Okay. So let's make sure we do that so that we can pay for them why they need to buy that. Okay. And we're almost done because I got to get ready for my class at 6. Now, if I'm selling makeup, again, like I'm saying, I don't understand why makeup artists don't do this. But if you're a makeup artist, listen, I'm going to help you make some money. So traditionally in the makeup world, okay, especially if I'm an MUA, the way they do it is that, you can find them on Style Seat. So a lot of them are using social media to connect with people. And, people come out as MUAs and they're saying, oh, Gigi, how do I get more customers? Or let's say I come up with my own makeup line. How do I make more sales in my makeup line? Well, you've got to do the same thing. You've got to create a movement. Now, a lot of times MUAs create personally branded movements, right? Where people begin to have their favorite MUA, right? Which I think is what we all see, right? They post pictures of the makeup and the faces they've done, right? Or if you sell makeup, you would be posting pictures of what your makeup products look like on a face, right? But this is why we need to go back to demonstrating expertise. If I want to sell out my makeup, I need to start doing makeup videos where I'm working on a model, okay? And if, let's say you're someone that says, well, Gigi, I sell makeup, but I'm not good at makeup. Well, then I would hire a makeup artist for my business to demonstrate the product, right? To do what? To bring in diversified income within my business. So this is the reason why when I tell my clients, it's easy to hit $10,000 a month minimum in any kind of business, minimum, if you have created a movement. If you have not created a movement, you will not be making a lot of money. This is why when we talk about business, when we talk about having healthy businesses, so many people struggle. I mean, they struggle because you're just so focused on being seen, so focused on being known. I'm focused on making money. I want to be known, but I also want to be paid. And for me, if I can gather up a huge amount of people, large amount of people who are following me, and I can diversify how I sell what I sell, I'll have a better chance of making it than you will. Not to say that I'm here to compare. What I'm saying is I want you to win with me, but you've got to learn how to build a movement first. Okay. And again, that's the hardest part for most people. We find it easy to build product. We find it easy to talk about how much of an expert we are. But if you don't build a movement, I don't care how much of an expert you are, there will be no people. You never want to sell, okay, to an empty room. This is your platform. I'm just going to show you. We're almost done. This is your platform. Okay. And let's say you are on the stage. This is how I view what I do for you guys. Okay. And here's your podium. And here you are. Okay. This is you. This is why what we call is P3 University. This is why I call myself the platform coach. Because no matter how good you are, if you speak to an empty room, you will not make any money. And where many people are frustrated in business is that we want to make money. We know that we have gifts, skills, and talents, right? But we don't want to do the work to build the movement. We would rather just be seen in front of the platform, right? We just want to be seen with the mic. Well, we want to be seen with the mic. We want to be seen as a person that everybody follows, okay? But I'm not building a business, okay, for everyone to see me at the mic, but I'm broke. Okay? This is why a lot of people who have business, like I said before, they struggle because they don't want to hear this information. This is what people want. They want me to give them step 1, 2, and 3, and they expect that if they just do step 1, 2, and 3, they're going to become millionaires. It doesn't work that way. You've got to use your voice, okay? Your company is unique to you, okay? It's unique to you. And there is no easy 10-step process to become a millionaire. There's no 20-step process to go out here and make millions, okay? What I've learned in building the family business and, of course, working with my family, my mother and my father to help them build as we expand. On top of that, building my own 2 personal businesses, including another one that's service-based, okay? I know what it takes to build a tribe. But building a tribe takes work. People think that because they've created a product, because they have a platform, all of a sudden tomorrow they're going to make a whole bunch of money. Guys, remember, we're talking about your baby, right? 1 to 3 years. If you are not ready to be in this business for 3 years, you should just sit down. You really should. Because people have such an unrealistic view. And I work with a lot of clients, and they're like, oh, Gigi, when I work with you, oh man, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of money. I say, yeah, you're gonna make a whole bunch of money, but don't think that working with me is gonna somehow cut the process by 95%. I'm probably gonna cut it by 50%, but it's up to you to do the other 50%. Right? Because you can follow all the things that we covered today. Oh my God, this is so much information that can help. Oh my God, this will help so many entrepreneurs make a whole bunch of more money. I promise you, you put it into practice. Because these are things that I teach all the time. Okay? This will help you make a ton of money on a monthly basis if you apply the work. The problem is that people want an easy step solution. They want give me a 1, 2, 3, and I'm gone. I met a young girl and I said, watch this video I had done on YouTube. This is going to help you grow your business. She said, oh, I don't have time to watch an hour video. And I was just like, but you want people to give you $100? You don't have time to watch. You don't have time to watch my teachings, but you want to make a whole bunch of money. You've got to be, as my girl Bianca Robinson says, BB. She said, look, people are not coachable and teachable a lot of times in today's age. We want the money, but we don't want to be coached and we don't want to be taught. We don't want to sit down and learn, okay? And I'm trying to tell you, if you really want to grow your business, I implore you to sit down and be coached. to sit down and learn, to invest your time. It takes time. I cannot tell the amount of times I have paid people to teach me. And because I've paid them to teach me, I've made all of my money back. I made it all back. I made it all back. You know why? Because I wasn't someone who was paying but not playing. I was someone that said, okay, if I'm going to pay you this amount of money to learn, okay, I spent over tens of thousands of dollars in coaching. So I laugh when people tell me they won't give me $100, give me $500 or $1,000, even $1,200 or $10,000 because I've invested all of that and more. They say, oh, Gigi, you know, I don't need to pay all that to learn. I said, no, you don't understand. Okay, fine. Go to college and get the degree. You're going to pay $40,000, $20,000, something a year. Okay. Go out there. Okay. So you've got to learn how to grow. It takes work to build your tribe. Some of you are doing Facebook Lives and you're mad because only 3 people are watching you. Okay. Are you here to become consistent or do you just want to blow up overnight? And so I find people saying, okay, Gigi, I'm going to start doing lives. Oh, only 2 people tuned in. I guess it's not working. Are you kidding me? You've got to prove your consistency. Why should 100 people show up for you when you haven't even showed up for 3 people on a consistent basis? You know, why should 5,000 people show up for you when you don't show up on a consistent basis for 100? Okay. So this is why, like, we want stuff, but we've got to put in stuff. This is why. Let's go back to this. Okay. This is the hard truth people don't want to hear. You know, then they get mad and talk about, you know, oh, I'm giving up. Oh, I guess it's not for me. Or, you know, people don't want to charge. People don't want to pay me my worth. People will not pay for what does not show up. Okay? You barely show up, but you want people to show up for you in the bank account. That's not how this works. If I want to have consistent money, I've got to be consistent. I've got to meet my next level. I've got to put my time into people. Okay. I've got to create great products and services that are good, that work. Okay. So again, this is what we got to get back to this. And the other thing too is you can't sell stuff that people don't want. I guess nobody wants my gifts. No one's going to pay for that. Not because you're not great. But you need to start doing something people want, okay? People don't want the pancakes with the 5 different toppings, okay? So I've got to make sure that I'm giving people what they want. I've got to be humble enough to ask people, what do they want from me? Because people, there are things that they're coming to you for, and you've got to know, okay, look, Gigi, I don't want all that. I just want this. I like when you do this. I like coaching programs maybe that were around this price point. Not saying that I would discount myself down to that, but I need to know what my audience wants so I can kind of feel, okay, so about 20% of them want this and about 30% of people want that. You cannot walk out into the field blind. So the first thing I've got to do is you've got to ask, okay? We're about to end. You've got to ask people what they want. Ask people. Stop being so haughty and prideful and act like you know what your tribe wants. Ask them what they want. I promise you'll make a lot of money if you ask them what they want. I was able to make a lot of money this year because last year I did a survey that asked people what they wanted and I gave them what they wanted, okay? Other thing is you've got to show up. Show up online. Show up in person. Show up at conferences. Show up at places. But do not waste your time in empty spaces. We do not do empty spaces. What that means is, if I know that my target audience, okay, let's say back in the day I was doing graphic design, okay? And in my graphic design time, when I was doing graphics and web design and all that, you know, I was shooting for around $3,000 for websites, which is what I was making. And, you know, the funny part was that when I got started, though, I was spending my time around people who only wanted $100 websites and $200 websites and $500 websites. Don't allow social media to mess up your work. Okay, this is really big. I use social media for what I need it for, but a lot of times I'm not going to use social media to mess up my worth, because sometimes you'll be around people and you'll see that they're selling the same product that you sell for like $500. So I was seeing people do websites for $150, $400, right? I was like, well, maybe I should come down because I'm seeing all these people say they wanted those kind of deals. No, because let's just do some calculations, shall we? Let's just do some, where's my phone over there? Let's do some calculations. Okay, so I want to do 10K a month. Okay, if I charge $3,000 a website, all I need are 4 clients to hit over 10. If I do 3, that's 9,000. That's not my goal. I have to do 4 to reach my goal. If I do $1,000 sites, okay, then I would hit, what, I just need 10 clients. The problem is that you are around people where if I did a $100 website and I wanted to make $10,000, I'm sure y'all can do the math. For 10 clients at 1K, how many clients I need to hit? 10K. Okay? I would need to do 100 clients. Because 10 clients at $100 would only give me $1,000. And so I was out here wasting my time around people where I would have to get 100 of them per month. Listen to me. Per month. Let me just say that. Per month. Let me say it again. Per month. Let me say it again. Per month. So that means that I would have to work with 1,000 clients, not even 1,000 clients, sorry. Yeah, I would have to work with over 1,000 clients to hit a 10K per month for a whole year. So when you're around the wrong people, I'm not again, you may, now if you're in retail, yeah, you're gonna have to hustle hard in retail. But I'm just saying that for service-based, I was wasting my time around people who could not afford me. It does not mean that those were not great people. They just were not my target audience. So do not put yourself in the wrong spaces where people who cannot afford you are. And then you get frustrated and say, oh, people don't want my gift or people don't want what I have. No, you're just in the wrong audience. If I'm selling a planner for $50, but I'm around people who want $1 planners from Dollar General, I'm in the wrong audience, right? So this is why you've got to get around people who have the money for the things, okay, that you offer. If I'm around people who are used to paying day designer prices for a planner where they're $60, okay, then I need to be around that audience if my planner is in that price point. Does that make sense? So you've got to make sure you're not wasting your time. This is why you've got to show up in the right spaces. And the problem with a lot of people is that your self-esteem has not risen to where your money needs to be. Let's just be real. Okay, so your mindset is here, your money is here. You've got to get up. Okay, you've got to get up. Your mind is here, but your money is here. This is why this is broke. Because you know why? You have not climbed it. And so there is this brokenness in that gap. This is why people will tell me, oh, it's just so hard. No, it's not hard. Your self-esteem hasn't jumped. What's hard is leaving what you're comfortable with in the spaces you're comfortable with to go to where the money is at. That's why you got to get around people who are used to making money. And these are Christian, not Christian, but just, good people. Because I have people follow me who aren't Christians. But you got to be around just good-hearted people who love people, love others, and also are into making money for not just themselves, but to build generational wealth. Right? They want to take care of their families. They want to be able to do the things that they enjoy. This is the reason why you've got to increase. Okay? You've got to increase. Okay? You've got to increase. So you've got to change your mind and you've got to go up to where the money is at so that you can attract the right customers that are for you. You guys got that? Hopefully you got that. So as we end, let me give you guys some homework. Okay? Because in order to make money, you've got to apply what you need to do. You've got to apply everything that I've taught. You're going to have to apply in order to really win. That's the only way you're going to make it in business. The only way you're going to win is that you've got to level. You got to level up your mind. You got to level up who you're around. You got to level up your talking. You got to level up your walk. I'm telling you, everything about your mind and your movements have to change. Okay? Young Nuda asks, is there any advice to sell weed? Well, any drug dealer needs to follow everything I just said. You missed the whole teaching, but if you go back, Young Nuda, you can find out too. You got to use the same thing that I've talked about. Okay, all the lessons that we've talked about, you can use if you want to sell weed. So Young Nuda on YouTube. Okay, and the thing about this is what I tell people: hustlers on the street, a lot of them remain hustlers, and they don't go up to the CEO level. They don't go up to the higher levels because they don't change their mindset. The streets are fine. But, the thing about it is the people making the most money are not on the streets. They learn how to navigate from the streets into the condominiums and into the mansions because they figured out on how to elevate themselves through sales strategies. This is why being an expert at sales, no matter what you sell, whether it's good or bad, where they're, you know, people who sell some drugs, you know, they destroy communities and they ruin people's families and their lives. But if that's what you want to do and that's the life you want to lead, that's up to you. But what I am going to say is that for those of us who want to leave this world a better place, for people who want to change this world and transform this world to build generational wealth that will not destruct families and destruct homes, then I'm going to ask you to do this homework. Okay, so let's get ready for our homework. Okay. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to set out your 2019 plan for your business. Okay. This is something that we're doing in the masterminds on a very intense level. That's why I'm so excited. If you are a woman and you would like to meet me in Atlanta or Philadelphia, we're going to be in Atlanta on December the 8th. We're going to be in Philadelphia on December the 29th. If you have not applied, you need to apply. If you want to be in the room with me, I'm so excited because it's not going to be necessarily me coaching. I'm going to be there, but we're going to be around other women where we're going to meet at these private tables and really build up a profitable year. I cannot wait. It's going to be millions in that room. And that's the kind of thing that I like. So for the 2019 plan, I want you to build not just a regular plan, but it needs to be a profit plan. And this plan, I want you to reassess, okay, what is your core product? Okay. It can be a product or it can be a product line. It can be a service or a service line. Okay. But you can say product or services. What are the core products or services that you're selling? What's the core ones that, you know, these are the ones that are selling. And I want you to analyze, okay, if you can improve how you're pushing these products or services out. Are you maximizing, okay, your moments? Are you maximizing, like we said last night, right? Maximize to monetize. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Maximize to monetize. When you look at your sales channels, the sales channels that you sell through, are you really doing your best? I mean, really, are you consistently showing up? So we need to also put a plan of consistency. Okay? Of consistency. How much can I show up every week? In what ways am I ready to show up? How will I show up? In what channels will I show up? What is the time that I'm going to invest per week to show up? Not just to show up publicly, but also to show up privately in your business, right? So like whether it's doing paperwork, working with different employees or team members, but how are you going to show? What's the consistency going to be like? Okay. The other thing is location. Okay. Where will you be going to meet your next? Okay. Next level. I have some women, they're coming to the masterminds because they want to meet their next level. Okay. They want to build connections that are going to help them push them closer to their next level. Okay. For some people, it's going to be, you know what? I'm going to be investing to go to industry-based conferences because they're going to save up to go to what? Their next level. Okay. But you've got to learn. So it's like for the guy who's selling weed. Okay. I would be going to cannabis conferences. They're blowing up all across the United States. Okay. Cannabis is becoming not just something that people are buying, but it's becoming an industry people are investing in. Okay. And so I will be going to cannabis-based conferences, the industry conference. I mean, they're jumping up everywhere. And so people, see, if you're small-minded, you think, oh man, I don't need no help. No. I need to go to industry-based conferences. So where you're going to be going for your next level. The next thing is, okay, look at the investments for next year. Okay. How much money do you really need to set aside for your next level? Okay, whether that is manufacturing, production, whether that is going to experiences, whether that's getting a better equipment. Okay, how much money do you need to set aside to upgrade, okay, how you're pitching your products and services? Maybe I need to invest in a better exhibition booth. I need to invest in maybe a better display, okay, so that when I go visit these conferences and you know, these different places to meet my tribe, I've got a better display. Okay, maybe I need to invest in, you know, what my products are being put into to have a better branded experience. So you need to figure out how much do you need to stack, okay, to the side to put into investing into your next year. Why? To have better sales. You'll have better sales if you can improve your model. Maybe I need to invest in a better website, a better platform. Maybe I need to get a better way or systems of doing what it is that I do. You also 5, you need to slim down your systems. Okay? Don't be the person using 20 systems to run one business. That is crazy. Okay? Let's try to scale down, okay? Scale down our process so that it's not too jumbled, okay? One of the things that I'm teaching, a lot of people is that we want to make sure that our processes, whether it's to acquire a customer, whether it's to help the customer, we're not, going crazy. This is not the time on Black Friday weekend or Cyber Week to buy all this stuff and you don't even need it for your business, okay? So you need to make sure that you're looking at, okay, what is my lead collection process like for my business? Am I going to, I need a business phone line. Okay, that's one system. Okay, I'm going to need email marketing. Okay, that's another system. I'm going to need my website. That's another system. I'm going to need this sales system as well. So you've got to make sure that everything that you're using, they can also sync together. Okay. See if there are ways to bring your systems to work more cohesively together so that you don't have to use as many. Now, this ends today's session because I have a class at 6. Now, we covered a lot. We covered an hour and a half. Wow, that was a lot of work, and we just did a lot of work. So between yesterday's class and today's class, we're pushing out a lot of knowledge. So I'm going to hope that you're going to apply this homework, okay? Now, my VIP sales class, we're actually about to do this homework in class in 40 minutes. We're actually going to put this stuff to work. But what I am going to ask you to do as someone who's receiving free knowledge is I would love for you to get this. Develop your 2019 profit plan, okay? Now, of course, I would not be the saleswoman if I did not pitch for you what's going to help you, to keep it all together. This is the S word. 7 keys to selling like a pro. A lot of you bought this book last night. Guess what? It's still for sale. It will be for sale. This is my new sales book. Of course, the main mothership is Boss Builder. Because remember, see, I'm teaching you guys about how to diversify products, right? Well, I would not be the queen of this if I didn't have diversified products as well, right? I've got this, I've got that. Where are my other books at? I've got Lead to Lead over here. Faith and Glass Slippers, I forgot where that's at. But I've got books that show my expertise. I've got courses that show my expertise. I'm not the queen for nothing. Okay, I've got books, courses, coaching, honey. I'm doing the daggone thing, okay? Why? Because that's who I am. I do the daggone thing. So anyway, this is the new one. This is the new business workbook. This is called the S word. I'm going to tell you something. If you believe in you hitting your sales, you need this. I'm telling you, you need this. I'm not saying it because I wrote it. I'm saying it because I wrote it for people who need to make more sales. And I want you to become a human salesperson, not that icky, sticky, used car salesman. I want you to become someone who is believing in your product and you sell it with an ultimate confidence. You've got to believe in yourself. And just like we've covered in today, let's go over some of the things that this book covers. You're going to learn how to remove low self-esteem issues in business because that is very important. The second thing is you're going to understand the art of selling. Selling is an art. It is an art. Number 3, you're going to study people's needs, wants, and desires. You can't be stupid selling. You've got to be strategic. You've got to study. You've got to know, okay? The 4th thing is that you're going to create your sales persona or brand. And this is something that you actually don't have to create. You already are, but you've got to come out of your shell and express those things. I've got to start. Man, I'm telling you, I see JMR Designs, my girl. Listen, Jackie. I see Jackie. And listen, you've got to be somebody who comes out of your shell to consistently present the bomb image of who you are, right? You're a bomb. I'm telling you, you are so dynamite. You are so amazing. And you have gifts and talents that this world needs. You have products and services that can help the world. And if you don't believe in yourself, then you won't sell well. So you've got to create your sales persona. The other one thing is you have to learn how to master closing up deals. Whether you sell retail, you got to close deals. If you sell online, you've got to close deals. You've got to learn how to be confident in closing deals, okay? And you may say, well, Gigi, I already know how to close deals. Well, then how come you're not closing deals in front of you right now? Okay, let's close those, okay? Every level, there will be bigger deals, and you've got to learn how to bring them to your desired outcome. The other thing that's included in this, it includes chapter activities, so that after every single chapter, you're going to apply. Okay, because I'm not into people. You read a book, you don't apply, and they say, "Oh yeah, it was a great book." No, it wasn't. It's not a great book if you don't apply it. Okay. The other thing is that it's going to include your sales tracker area. This is my favorite. I'm gonna be using this. Listen, For real, for real. Because actually, it's my updated 2019 planning year. Now, does it say 2019? You can date it for whatever year you want, but it's going to help you track your sales goals so that you can begin to give yourself realistic goals to set, and you're going to begin to challenge yourself every month to hit those goals. Guys, making money is real. Okay, money is real. I don't know if you get this, but money is real. And remember, like we said last night, okay, to me, when I think about money in my business, it's the food I eat. Okay, it's the gas in my tank. See, if you don't take this thing real enough, you will always be passive in your business. Just so passive, never growing your business, never doing stuff that you need to do, always quitting, always giving up. Okay, if you're going to start a business, you got to have your head in the game. Okay, and so I don't see closing sales as like optional. If I don't close sales, I will not have money in my bank account. If I don't close sales, I will not be able to go get food. If I do not close sales, I will not be able to put gas in my tank. If I do not close sales, I will not be able to take care of those that I love. If I do not close sales, I will not be able to get Christmas gifts for my loved ones. See, if you don't make this thing real enough, you won't think that this is important. You'll see it's just some little optional workbook, some little optional thing I don't have to do. I'm okay. You're not okay if you're not okay. People, we know when we're not okay. We know what, okay, I got to hit. I got to be more focused. I got to create my brand persona. I got to be confident. I've got to show up. All the things that we've talked about, this workbook is going to help you do. Now, if you say, well, why should you talk about this workbook? Because I believe in my product. See, if you don't show up like I'm showing up to present my product to the world, if you don't show up like me, where you're showing your expertise, you're showing your passion, you're showing the things that you love about, you'll never hit the true desires in your heart. And there are too many people in this world who have desires. I mean, they're really deep. You know, you want to do really important things, but because of your refusal to get your head out of the sand and to look up at what's next, and not just to look up, but to take your feet and to start moving them, saying, you know what, I'm scared, I'm nervous, you know, this is going to cost a lot, I'm not sure about this, but you know, when you say, you know what, I'm going to bet on myself, a lot of us, we bet on people, other people's stuff, other people's programs, but when are you going to bet on yourself? You've got to start betting on yourself. You are your best investment. Your business is your best investment. Don't go out here and give Walmart, Target, Under Armour, that's my favorite, Louis Vuitton, okay, whatever you like, Apple. Don't give them all your money, and your business right now needs your money. Remember, your baby, where's our baby at? Right here. Your baby needs to be fed. Okay, we're done. Your baby needs to be fed. So if you're going to get this, if you're saying, you know, Genesis, I'm ready to up my sales game. I'm ready to get the master workbook, okay, to build my business. Then guess what? Go get this. It's only $20. Okay, you're going to make your money back. If you use the principles in here, you'll make your $20 back real fast. So how do you get this? Well, you're going to go to bit.ly/I need sales. Pretty simple. bit.ly/I need sales. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description box. If you're on Facebook, it's with the link that's with this description. And if you're here on Instagram, you can click on the link in my bio and just hit the button that says I need sales. You're going to get the S word. Okay, you're going to get, it's called the S word. And if you're part of my private sales boot camp, don't buy a copy because it was already included in your payment and investment. So guys, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Just want to let you guys know about what's coming up next. So let's talk about our next video. We're almost done. I'm just going to just write it up here, okay? A requested video on my YouTube channel was how to build a business without a ton of money. So it's going to be called the $100 business. Okay, these markers, y'all, I'm buying some new markers from Amazon today. Okay, because I don't know what's going on with my markers. So we're going to be talking about the $100 business. Okay, the $100 business. Now, if you want to join my email list, you need to go to my website, which is genesisdorsey.com. And right there, there's going to be an email list that you can join. Hey, Jamar. Hey, girl. Hey, Jamar. So, guys, be sure to go to genesisdorsey.com. Sign up for the email list. It's right there on the website, on the homepage. And this week, we're going to be talking about the $100 business. I want to get you guys ready for 2019. I got to get y'all ready. I'm your coach. You may say, Genesis, I don't even pay you. I'm still your coach. Still your coach. And so we're going to go into this $100 business. Hopefully, you've been taking notes. If not, be sure to get a workbook or a notebook of some kind so that every single time I teach you, I'm coaching you for free, that you can have a notebook that has all your plans in it. Okay, guys? I will see you guys later. Okay, have a great, great time. Oh, Shark Tamika asked, what's your YouTube channel? Just Google Genesis Dorsey. It'll come up. It's youtube.com/my name, Genesis Dorsey. Why? Because I brand myself, which is a great way to increase your sales. So yeah, just go to youtube.com/Genesis Dorsey and you'll find me there. Guys, have a great rest of your week. We accomplished a lot. We had to race the board several times. We accomplished a lot in today's class. If you're just joining us, watch the replay. See you guys later. I'm going to end here first on Instagram. Okay, I'll see you guys later here on Facebook. Thank you for joining. And let me just type in real quick some of these links to go to get the workbook. And then here is my YouTube channel. Everything is so easy to get. Okay. Let's just make sure things are working, guys. Perfect. See you guys later. Okay, on you. Okay, I'm almost done. YouTube, go on to your last because I love y'all. Okay. See y'all later, guys. Bye, YouTube.